The Pacific Ocean. Many times, we are heard to say, "We have fallen into the deep sea." This means it's about to be the most delusional time of the year, as well. Again, just as many wise men have said, to be as generous as the ocean is to make one's mind as vast as the ocean. There are a total of 32 oceans, seas, and bays in the world. However, Western geographers have divided the sea into 5 parts for their convenience. These are: Number 1. The Pacific Ocean. Number 2. The Atlantic Ocean. Number 3. The Indian Ocean. Number 4. The Southern Ocean or Antarctic Ocean. Number 5. Northern Ocean or the Arctic Ocean. Except for 27 seas and bays. And the king of all these seas is called the Pacific Ocean. One of the reasons for this is the size of the Pacific Ocean, which is said to cover more than half of the world. Hello viewers, welcome to our channel, Amaze World. In today's episode, we will tell you about this ocean king, the Pacific Ocean. But if you are new to our channel, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon. And if you have already done so, thank you very much. The Pacific Ocean, which is larger than the entire landmass of the Earth. The Pacific Ocean is divided into North and South. The equator divides it into the North and South Pacific Oceans. The Northern Hemisphere is bounded north. The Bering Sea has merged with the ocean. In the Southern Hemisphere, the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans meet near Cape Horn. To the west of the Pacific Ocean are the continents of Asia and Australia, and to the east of this ocean are the continents of North and South America. The total area in the Pacific Ocean is 16,92,00,000 square kilometers, which is about 32% of the Earth's total area and about 46% of the total water area. The average depth of the Pacific Ocean is about 14,000 feet. The deepest part of the world, the Mariana Trench, is located in the northwestern Pacific Ocean. The average depth of the Mariana Trench is about 35,800 feet. The Pacific Ocean is shrinking by about 1 centimeter each year due to the motion of the Earth's tectonic plates. The Pacific Ocean is an important place in world politics, economy, and military power. 5 continents of the world are located on the shores of this ocean. The Pacific Ocean is 1/3 the size of the rest of the world. There are many mysterious variations in this deepest ocean of the world. Countries such as the United States, China, and North Korea are located along the Pacific Ocean and have the most extensive military security system in the region. There are about 25,000 islands in the Pacific Ocean, more than the combined number of islands in the other 4 oceans. The Pacific Islands are divided into 3 regions: Micronesia, Melanesia, and Polynesia. The Micronesian Islands are relatively small. The Marshall Islands, Caroline Islands, and Kiribati are some of these islands. New Guinea is the largest island in the Pacific Ocean among the Melanesian Islands. Also in this region are Fiji, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands, and Santa Cruz's Island is significant. Polynesia is the largest region in the Pacific Ocean. This region consists of 130 islands, stretching from Hawaii's island in the north to New Zealand in the south. Samoa, Tuvalu, Tonga, the Eastern Archipelago, and the Cook Islands are the islands in this region, located almost in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. About 95% of world trade is conducted by sea. The role of the Pacific Ocean in the transportation of international goods by sea is immense. The ocean stretches from the west coast of North America and Panama to the east coast of Asia and Oceania. This sea route is mainly used for international trade. East and Southeast Asia traded with the United States through this sea route. Japan, South Korea, and China import large quantities of oil from the Middle East using the Pacific Ocean. Many large ports and harbors have sprung up along the Pacific Ocean for international trade. Singapore, Hong Kong, Manila, Panama, Yokohama, Sydney, San Francisco, Vancouver, and Los Angeles are some of the largest ports in the Pacific Ocean. There is some mysterious diversity in the Pacific Ocean. The Gulf of Alaska is the most fantastic place on this ocean. In the Gulf of Alaska, where the Bering Sea and the Pacific Ocean meet, the difference between the two glasses of water is easy to spot. Light blue water on one side and dark blue on the other. To the naked eye, it looks like two oceans are flowing side by side, but no one's water is mixing. This is because the crystal clear waters of the Bering Sea are much less salty than the waters of the Pacific Ocean. Therefore, water from two sources cannot be easily mixed due to water content and density differences. However, even if it is not seen with the naked eye, the water of these two seas does not mix at all. At different times the boundary between the two seas changes. Another mysterious place in the Pacific Ocean is the Dragon Triangle between Japan and Bonin Island. It is called the Devil's Sea. Many ships and planes have been lost here, the existence of which was not found later. A recent eruption in the Pacific Ocean has created a new island near the Tonga Islands. Since its inception, the structure of the island has been under observation. Scientists claim that this is different from other islands because of volcanoes. Statement of the new island will reveal many secrets about the Earth's terrestrial structure. Due to strong economic and diplomatic practices, almost all the world's superpowers have taken a strong position in maritime security. And in this case, the part of the Pacific Ocean is at the top. The United States is on one side of the Pacific Ocean, as are China, Japan, and North Korea. Strategic security measures have been taken around the Pacific Ocean for strategic reasons. The Americans have built large military bases in the Pacific island of Guam. It is estimated that there are about 14,000 weapons of mass destruction in stock. The United States military base in the Hawaiian Islands is also equipped with state-of-the-art active missile systems. The United States is set to deploy at least 250 warships and a large navy in the region in the next few years. Tensions have risen between world powers over the South China Sea in the Pacific Ocean. Competing with the United States, China is also desperate to establish dominance in the region. China has set up military bases in the region by creating artificial islands in the sea. There is also China's opposition to Japan over the Senkaku Islands. Meanwhile, nuclear-armed North Korea has threatened to strike a U.S. naval base on the U.S. island of Guam, creating significant tensions in the Pacific. The level of pollution in the Pacific Ocean is increasing day by day. One study found that the Pacific Ocean contains more than 1.1 billion kilograms of plastic. This number is expected to cross 1,500 crore rupees by 2025. 1/3 of these plastic wastes are dumped directly into the sea from land. In World War II, the United States tested multiple atomic bombs on several islands in the Pacific Ocean. The United States has very kindly discarded the radioactive waste from those nuclear tests. If these wastes are exposed in the slightest accident in the future, it will create a hazardous situation for the entire human race. If we become a little aware, then the whole world will be transformed into a unique beauty. Pollution will be reduced. We and our future generations will breathe freely. Let's be aware of building a beautiful world. We are finishing today's video here. If you liked the video, hope you will like, comment, and share it.